Good evening. It's 6:45. So we're gonna start reading. Pinocchio. Oh crap. Sorry. Sorry. It's been a long day. A very long day. Let's see. Time. Email. Email. Why are you guys sitting here? Okay, so chapter 7. Geppetto gives Pinocchio his own breakfast. Okay. Poor Pinocchio was so sleepy that he still did not know his feet were burned off. I wish the volume was up. Okay, his feet were burned off. When he heard his father's voice, he slid down from the chair to run and unbolt the door. But instead he tottered for 2 or 3 steps and then fell flat on the floor. "Let me in!" called Geppetto from the street. "I can't, father," replied the puppet, weeping and rolling on the floor. "Why not?" "My feet have been eaten off." "Who has eaten them?" "The cat," said Pinocchio, seeing Pussy in the corner playing with some pieces of wood. "Let me in, I tell you," replied Geppetto, "else I shall give you a cat o' 9 tails instead. Believe me, I can't walk a step. Oh, poor me, poor me! I shall have to go round on my knees the rest of my life." But Geppetto only thought this some trick of the puppet's. So, to end the talk, he climbed up the wall and entered the room through the window. At first he scolded him severely, but when he saw Pinocchio lying on the floor without any feet, he was touched with pity. He raised him up gently and began to pet him, saying tenderly, "My dear little Pinocchio, how did you happen to burn your feet off?" "I don't know, father, but believe me, it has been a terrible night and one shall never forget. It thundered and lightened, and I was awfully hungry. Then along came a talking cricket who said, 'Serves you right.' And I said, 'Take care, cricket.' And he said, 'You're a blockhead.' And I up with the mallet and smashed him on the wall. Then I tried to cook an egg, but instead a chicken flew out of it, thanking me kindly. And then I grew so hungry that when I went over to the village and rang a bell, and the little old man said, 'Come under the window and hold up your hat,' and then he poured water all over me, I came back home in a hurry and stuck my feet on the stove to dry them. And while I was asleep, they burned up, and now I haven't got any feet. And I'm so hungry. Oh, oh, oh." And Pinocchio cried so loud you could have heard him for a mile. His story was so much mixed, but Geppetto caught the main point in it, which was the fact that the puppet was hungry. So he took 3 pears out of his pocket, saying, "Here are some pears, which were to have been my own breakfast, but I will gladly give them to you. Eat them and make them and make and may they do you good. If you want me to eat them, please peel them for me." "Peel them," replied Geppetto in surprise. "I would never have thought, my boy, that you would be so hard to please." One has to get used to all sorts of things in this world. You may be right, replied Pinocchio, but I don't intend to eat any fruit that isn't peeled. I don't like the skins. At this, the good Geppetto took out a small knife and patiently peeled 3 pears, laying all the peeling on the corner of the table. When Pinocchio had eaten the first pear, he was on the point of throwing away the core, but Geppetto stopped him. Don't throw that away, he said. Everything is of some use. But I don't propose to eat cores. Very well, replied his father calmly. But the cores, instead of being thrown away, were placed in the corner of the table were with the parents. Having eaten them, or rather gobbled, the 3 pears, Pinocchio yawned and said with a why, "Oh dear, I am still hungry. I haven't eaten anything else. I haven't eaten. I'm still hungry. I haven't eaten anything else, my boy. I haven't anything else, my boy. Really, truly nothing? Nothing except these peelings and cores. All right then, said Pinocchio. I guess I'd better eat some peelings." He began to eat, at first with a wry face, but one after another the skins went down. Then he tackled the cores, and when he had finished the lot, he said, patting his stomach contentedly, "Oh, I feel better." "You see then," observed Geppetto, "that I was right when I told you everything was of some use." Observed Geppetto, "That I was right when I told you everything was of some use in this world." Chapter 8. I apologize. Sorry. Chapter 8. Geppetto makes another pair of beef for Pinocchio. As soon as the puppet's hunger was satisfied, he began to complain because he wanted a new pair of feet. Geppetto let him cry for a good while in order to punish him. Then he said, "Why should I make you new feet? So that you may run away from home again?" "Oh no, I promise to be good after this," said Pinocchio, sobbing. "That's why all boys say when they want something, 'I promise to go to school and to study so that you will be proud of me.' That's what all boys say when they want anything. But I'm not like other boys. I am better than any of them. I always tell the truth, and I promise you, father, that I will learn a trade and be of some help to you." Geppetto felt so sorry for him that he couldn't say any other word. He took up some choice bits of wood and set to work so earnestly that in less than an hour he had carved out 2 beautiful new feet. They were so fine and graceful that they looked as though modeled by some great sculptor. Then he said to the boy, "Now close your eyes and go to sleep." Pinocchio closed his eyes and pretended to sleep, while Geppetto melted a little glue in the egg shell and stuck the feet to the legs. And he joined them so neatly that he couldn't see where it was done. As soon as the puppet saw his new feet fastened on, he jumped down and capered around as if crazy with delight. "To pay you back for all you have done for me," he said, "please let me start to school right away." "Good boy. But if I go to school, I must have some clothes to wear." Geppetto was so poor that he hadn't a cent in his pocket, but he made him a suit out of cardboard, a pair of shoes out of some bark, and a cap out of bread paste. Pinocchio capered off to admire himself in a pan of water, and was so pleased that he strutted up and down, saying, "Now I look exactly like a gentleman." "Yes, indeed," replied Geppetto. "It is not so much fine clothes, but clean ones, that make a gentleman." "By the way," said the puppet, "if I go to school, I shall need a spelling book." "You are right, but how shall we get one?" "Easy enough. You can get one at a bookstore." "And the money?" "I haven't any." "Neither have I," said the good man sadly. Pinocchio grew downcast too at this. Even a boy can understand what it means to be poor. "Have patience," said Geppetto, suddenly raising his head and taking his patched coat. He left the house on a run. In a very short time he returned with the desired spelling book. But his coat was gone. The poor man, in his shirt sleeves, although it was snowing outside. "Where's your coat, father?" asked Pinocchio. "I sold it." "Why?" "Because it made me too warm." Pinocchio saw through this excuse at once, and having a good heart down in his little wooden body, he threw his arms about Geppetto and kissed him again and again. Chapter 9. We'll do tomorrow. Okay. So remember, Pinocchio's on no strings, but he's wooden. But he's made out of wood. That works.